Ready to roll, Jack in the back, Jay Brad, week 1 NFL season. It is upon us. I appreciate everybody tuning in, listening live for wherever you may be. Thank you to all our supporters. I really appreciate it, near and far. Yes, it is week 1 of the NFL season. Yes, this is the Colin Thompson show. That's Jack Connell. Justin, Jay Brad is in the house with us as well, backed by popular demand. So it's great to have you back. It's always good to be joined by you guys. I'll start with Jack. Jack, how was your weekend, pal? Did you do any public transportation like walking, which you're getting made fun of a lot for, or eating weird types of wings, buffalo, and then hot, and saying they're 2 different flavors? What'd you do this weekend, and what are you looking forward to week 1?
So you'll be I just actually this morning, I would count the weekend because it's Labor Day weekend. I just finished Entourage. I finished the whole series, and I watched the movie today. So
wow.
Yeah, that was quick timing. So I started the day I got back from training camp, and you threatened my future not for long if I didn't watch Entourage.
Correct.
And then so like probably like a month. I mean, I've never been a heavy binge watcher. Like, I'll go through one show at a time, but like I watch it like when I'm eating or if I'm winding down at night. Like, this is a show where I would watch 3-4 episodes at once. I was hooked.
So tell us what you think about the show, Jack.
I love the show. I mean, obviously, the first text I had a complete 180 on Ori. The first text I ever sent you about the show after I watched the first episode, I'm like, this agent is the worst. I hate this dude. And he is probably tied with Tony Soprano for my favorite TV character of all time. He is. That's not even like recency bias from just watching the show. He is just done so well in the show. I will say, though, unfortunately, I did not really like the movie. I did not like the movie.
Wow.
I feel like the show wrapped everything up so perfectly. It just felt everything was so undone between Ari. He reaches the pinnacle, like he steps away. Well, spoilers. He steps away.
Fine, it's an old show. You can give spoilers.
10 years old at this point. He's gone, and then he gets obviously I would assume it's Warner Brothers or whatever job, and it's ambiguous. You assume he's going to take it, whatever, and E goes off with her name's Sloan. He goes off with Sloan. Like, everything's wrapped up, and then comes in the movie, and it's just like none of that ever happens. Like, oh, Ari never got the job. He's back where he was before, and like the whole last arc of his character was, I'm like retiring because my wife, my family come first, unless it's Unreal Job happens, and he doesn't get the Unreal Job, and it's just back to like it's just like that whole plot never happened. Like,
all right,
that was my biggest gripe with it all.
I get it. I mean, listen, I get it. There was some pushback about the movie. I love the movie. I thought it was just another episode continued. That's how I treated it, as multiple episodes, maybe a series of a show continued. There's so much happened with that show. It was such a huge pop culture thing. Like, when they had the movie premiere, it was really, right? It was just to get and display all the cameos, Gronk and Edelman and Russell Wilson, and like all the people that have been a part of the Entourage journey. We were fortunate enough here at the Colin Thompson show, Not for Long Media, to have Doug Ellen on our show, the creator of Entourage. And he talked about the challenges of doing the movie and all the cameos and how it just exploded, because it was a show about what was really happening in LA. Like, right. Like, obviously some things are dramatized, but you know, what is happening in LA, it's displayed. It's not like it's, Game of Thrones or another show where you can't really have a cameo per se. There is some, but what was going on in LA at the time, or what was going on maybe 10, 20 years before that, Entourage was displaying. So it made sense for people to cameo in and out, and they find a way to do it. And I was a huge fan of the movie. Like I said, it was a continual of the series. There's so much pressure for them to always make more movies, do more shows, because there's a passionate fan group. And I think, obviously, you're a part of it now. Now, Jay Brad, big question. Have you seen Entourage?
I've not. I have no idea what Jack was talking about, and he spoiled the movie for me. So now I don't even feel like there's a reason for me to watch it. So,
Jack, you bring a lot of wonderful people here at Not for Long Media, but next time you say, Colin, I have someone great here, like Jay Brad, extremely talented, works extremely hard, does awesome work for us. The first question: have you seen Entourage? If you haven't, they have to watch it before they can be hired here at the show.
We have Colin and I are going to start working through like a 15-question trivia formula to fill. You have to get 80% before we even look at your resume to bring you on.
Yes. Even though you're super talented and a great man, Jay Brad, and work extremely hard. No, it's a great show. I absolutely love the show and been lucky enough to become kind of social media, Zoom, podcast friends with Doug Helen from afar. And it's been great to follow what they have. A great podcast, Victory the Podcast. Check that out. Action Park Media, Kevin Murphy, in the show. Wow, he's slipping my name right here. Wow. Because it's Kevin Connolly in real life. There we go. Kevin Connolly in real life. Thank you, bro. Thank you. My mind had to finally clear its out. Kevin Connolly, who plays Eric Murphy in the show. He has Action Park Media, which is a great media company that I study a lot. Try to do what they're doing, right? Like we try to watch Barstool, like we do that. That's what we're doing here at Not For Long Media. So they have a great podcast out there. I transitioned to breaking news at Not For Long Media, Jack. News sounder right here. I wish we had that, and we will have that. But no, I'm kidding. Two Girls, One League. Their first episode will come out this week. We have some, awesome hosts: Alex, Paige, Silvana, Rossi's working her way into the next episode. So we're gonna have 2+ girls and one league, the NFL, to talk about. So we're really excited about that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be creative. There's going to be lots to talk about in the league, and who better than people that are really smart about the league? Doesn't make them, that people say, oh, girls can't, sports and all these different things. No, these girls can talk sports. They can talk football in particular, and they're going to do a lot of stuff. They're going to be talking, who knows what, gambling, fantasy football. We're letting them run with it and having a ball with it. So it's going to expand. It's going to continue to just blow up. They're going to have players on there in the NFL. They're going to have guests all across the platforms of media. So I'm excited for what's going on with Two Girls One League. I'm extremely excited what's going on with our friends over at the original Fudge Kitchen, fudgekitchens.com, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country, Jack. Check them out, guys. Fudgekitchens.com. They ship it right to your door. Take care of a friend that's been taking care of you. Send something to mom. Send something to dad. Take care of somebody. Send them a box of fudge. It's creative. It's better than flowers. It's better than your run-of-the-mill, brand, Valentine's Day. I'm not going to say the company type heart-shaped box, right? Or the Hallmark card or whatever it is. Fudge has meaning. Fudge is a taste of the Jersey Shore that we know and love. The saltwater taffy is a taste of the Jersey Shore that we know and love. Mix up your gift giving this fall, this holiday season. Send somebody a box of fudge. What's better than that? It's a taste of vacation. Absolutely love what they're doing at the original Fudge Kitchen, fudgekitchens.com, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country. All right, Jack. So lots to talk about on the show. Again, Jay Brad, how was your weekend? Let's start with you. And then we're going to kind of transition to our next segment, which is going to be, oh my God, I buried the lead again, Jack. Buried the lead. We are jacked this week. Now we're recording Monday night. The podcast come out every Tuesday morning. Brian O'Neill's going to be joining us today. Brian and I did a lot of these episodes in the summer, guys. Brian's a Pro Bowl offensive lineman, right tackle for Minnesota. He's from Delaware. Did not get an offer from the University of Delaware. Went to Pitt as a tight end and turned himself into a really one of the best right tackles in the NFL. Was a high draft pick. Talk about the draft. We talked about the drafts on the show. We talked about Pitt. We talked about Minnesota. We talked about Dalvin Cook. We talked about, playing for multiple coaches. We talked about all these different things. I was fortunate enough to play golf with Brian this summer. Had a great time getting to know him, and we were very fortunate, of his time to come on the pod. So we did a long, Jack. I think we did an hour, Brian.
Yeah, it was about like an hour or so. Yeah, I would say about at least 50 minutes.
Yeah, at least 45 minutes plus of just good quality content. Of just Brian telling stories of the glory days, putting on 100 pounds, all these different things. So some really funny stories, some good stories. Talked about some charity things that he's involved in. And he just got a big payday. And we are a players podcast on this. So congrats to Brian on getting paid. The next round is on you. And then the next 5 would be on me. But the first round's always on the guy that just got paid. So, Brian, appreciate you joining us, man. Best of luck this season. And, we're looking forward to watching you. And, you're going to be going to back-to-back Pro Bowls. That's my pick. So best of luck, brother, and to your team and to you, and nothing but a safe season. All right, Jay Brad, what'd you do this weekend, bud? What are you looking forward to week 1 of the NFL season as well?
So what I did this weekend was watch football, college football all weekend. It felt good to be back. Football's back.
What game did you like the most, Jay Brad?
Man, there was a lot. That Houston game was really good. Went to like the overtime rules, which I think the NFL should look into for those overtime rules. It's really fun to see both teams going back and forth at the goal line. And then that Utah game was really good too. But it was just great to have football back on the TV. I'm mainly an NFL guy. I'm slowly creeping my way into college football, but it's mainly because where I'm at in Pennsylvania and Lancaster, there's not really like there's Penn State and there's Pitt. There's not like I don't want to be like an Alabama guy or like a Temple guy. Sorry, I like Temple, but I don't like come on, Colin. I don't have Temple relatives. Like
It has something to do with that, Jay Brad.
Pitt.
You put Jack saying Pitt. You're like an hour and a half from State College. Like you're saying there's no college football around you, and I'm not a Penn State fan. I am now because of Pat Kraft. Shout out to Penn State for a big win. But obviously, as a Temple guy, I'm not a Penn State fan. Plus, I got recruiting visits there that did not go well, multiple pre-college and during college. So, long story short, I'll be honest with you. My Penn State fandom has grown because of Pat Kraft, the athletic director there. He's a great guy. But Jay Brad, don't say you don't have college football around you. West Virginia,
I mean, like
just
I don't
south
know,
of you.
like I just feel like
No, you just weren't
I'm
raised
like-
one. I get it. Listen, I get where we're from. I am giving you crap, but I do get where we're from. It's like Notre Dame, Penn State are kind of nobody. You're just kind of an Eagles fan, a Steelers fan, and like a Giants fan. It's just not embedded in like here in Carolina, guys. It's all college sports. That's it.
Yeah.
So I get it, Jay Brad. What are you looking forward to week one, bud?
I mean, the birds, Colin. The
Oh,
birds are back, back on TV. So I'm looking forward to that. But just NFL in general. I mean, Thursday night we're almost there. The official start of week one. That's a good matchup. Josh Allen and Matthew Stafford. Just really excited to have football back on TV, red zone, all the whole everything. Just back.
What do you got, Jack? What are you looking forward to week one, buddy?
I mean, obviously, I watched the Eagles. I'm excited to just see football back. I'm not the biggest college football fan in the world. I watched the game I paid attention the most this weekend. I'll tell you a lot. Is Division III Susquehanna University playing Lycoming, I believe. That was the game I paid attention the most this weekend. Put on a stellar offensive effort. Shout out to the Riverhawks. Susquehanna won, I think it was like 45-16. Quarterback, Michael Rudy, had like a 252 QBR. Just nuts.
Not as good as Deion Sanders' son.
Oh, my God. He put on a show. I saw that, too. That was incredible.
He put on a show. We watched the App State finish was crazy. Absolutely crazy. The LSU Florida State game was crazy. You could see how they're just taking advantage of college football now of these schedules. Like, there's a game tonight, or is there a game tonight?
Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson, Georgia Tech
Clemson.
tonight. So they're just hitting these. They probably started Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's been like a week straight of college football, and they knew before the NFL starts they are dipping in on that quality Sunday slot. Why not? I don't blame them. We're going to get a new segment here at Matchups next, which is something I'm really looking forward to. Trying to find a way for me to talk football on this show, which is my wheelhouse, obviously, without making predictions and all these things I don't want to be involved in, right? I'm a Carolina Panther. I don't want to do that, but I can shed some light on things around the league and players around the league and those matchups for people to watch because I think they'll be really good. But first, I want to talk about our friends over Wealth Advisory Services. Guys, I've been talking about them for a while now. They sponsor our podcast, but honestly, these are people that I trust, my family trusts, and I'm very fortunate to work with when it comes to managing your wealth. Big, small, no money. I had a plan in place when I had $0 and then a plan in place now for what's next and then what's next and then retirement. So there's no amount of money it takes to start. And personally, again, I do these ad read guys. I just try to talk true fact about how my experience has been. I cannot thank their team Wealth Advisory Services enough. Paul, Dave, 100 years of experience in their office. So many people to talk to, so many connections, located in Doylestown, Bucks County, located in Cape May, New Jersey. They cover the whole Northeast. They work with clients actually nationwide, which is awesome. It's something I found out about 2-3 months ago. I didn't know that. So it's been an absolute pleasure. And they've helped me kind of diversify and find new things and handle the crazy markets and all these different things. Just someone to talk to on a consistent basis. So shout out to our friends at Wealth Advisory Services, wealthadvisoryservices.com. All right, so guys, we're going to do matchups. We'll save mine for last, but we're going to go with Justin first. I mean, we're going to go with Jack first, and then we're going to go with Justin, and then we're going to go to me. So we're going to give Justin some more time to brew it in his head here as he got it last minute, our new segment. Thank you, Jack. So,
Thanks, Jack.
Jack, who is your matchup or matchups for week 1?
So I got 2. I have a skill position matchup and an in the trenches one. So my skill position, 2 star players that changed teams this offseason, J.C. Jackson versus Devontae Adams, Chargers Raiders. I think that's going to be a great one. There's a lot of hype around Jackson going into the season, a new scheme. There's a lot of hype around Adams' new scheme, how they both fare with these franchises. It's going to be interesting to see. And then my other one is another divisional battle, La'el Collins versus TJ Watt. I'm not sure how much they'll match up, but again, Collins, who was stellar in Dallas, now becomes the anchor of that Cincinnati offensive line to really take them and that offense to the next level against arguably the best rusher in football. I mean, probably the best and probably one of the best just linemen in general with Aaron Donald, etc. Another just divisional matchup. I think that's just going to be another really thrilling battle to watch.
I'm going to add the Watt brothers to bus one this week, just off of that comment too, because all 3 of them are in the NFL. It's pretty freaking crazy. And they're all really good. Obviously, JJ, and was it TJ?
Derek. Is it Derek, JJ, and TJ, right?
Yeah. I mean, TJ obviously is Defensive Player of the Year. JJ's probably a Hall of Famer. And Derek is a fullback in the NFL. Like, they don't exist, and he's in the league. So it's really impressive. Really impressive. We'll talk about them. They'll be on bus one this week. But no, it's some great points, Jack, you bring up. Obviously, the Collins deal was huge. Obviously, what brings off the edge is massive. The Steelers' whole front is really good. So that's going to be interesting to see all that. They're a divisional rivalry, too. It's a great call by you. Bengals coming off after a massive year. Steelers under Coach Tomlin have not had a losing season. So they just named Mitch Trubisky starting quarterback. So congrats to Mitch. Great guy. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's going to have a really nice year in Pittsburgh. I really do. So that's some great stuff, Jack. I love it. And then your receiver versus DB, the J.C. Jackson one, that's kind of one you forget about. That happened really early on in free agency, I think.
It was like the first big deal because he kind of set the market.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew he was kind of going to walk from New England, but he kind of reset the cornerback market with that contract.
Those LA teams are absolutely loaded with high-end talent. I mean, they're loaded with great players, don't get me wrong, but the high-end players, they got some really, really good players. So that's a great matchup, Jack. I love it. Should be interesting to see how they're going to play Devontae. I think now it's funny. Like, it happens overnight. Like, it doesn't even matter where the rankings are, top, 100 players. Like, once Aaron Rodgers comes out and says Devontae Adams is the best receiver in the league, it's like, all right, he's the best receiver in the league. Like, no one really argues it. He said that multiple times. So it's a great call. Justin, Brad.
Okay.
What do you got?
So I did a position one, and then I did a team versus team, just like a whole dynamic. So offense, defense kind of thing. So my position one, again, got to go with the Birds. Keep it rolling with the Birds. I got A.J. Brown's debut in regular season debut at least. But he didn't really catch any passes in preseason. They didn't really look his way too much in the preseason. He didn't really play too much either. But coming in just to put him in that offense, seeing how Hurts develops as a passer, because that's kind of like the big question mark for quarterback play. Sorry, I couldn't figure out my words there. Jeff Okudah on the other side, coming back from a season-ending injury last year. He was supposed to be, one of the best up-and-coming corners from the draft. Got hurt. Now he's coming back in. I want to see how he matches up against A.J. Brown or even Devontae Smith, whatever side they put him on. And then, so that's my matchup that I'm looking forward to. And then my team, it's just going to be Thursday night. Josh Allen. I have high hopes for Josh Allen this year. I think he could be a potential. If not, I think he's my pick for an MVP candidate this year. I think he has a lot of weapons still around him. And they're going up against the defending Super Bowl champions, the Rams, great defense, who just added Bobby Wagner, right? If I now remember,
you are 100% correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
so they're just adding on to that defense, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Josh Allen plays against that great Rams defense on Thursday night.
Great job, Brad. I mean, that's right off the cuff, folks. I mean, he knew this 15 minutes ago, and he's ripping it. So great job, Brad, and it's a final on Jack. So even though it was my idea, so it's really a final on me. I should be filling everybody in what's going on. We love having you, Brad. It's great to have guests. So, guys, first off, you're going to a game this year you have to use SeatGeek, right? It's a friggin' awesome app to use, great for tickets, great prices. And hey, listen, we know it's getting a little pricey for tickets now. Getting a little pricey. I have to pay for my tickets in the NFL. People don't realize that. You get 2 home game tickets complimentary. I pay the taxes on them. And then everything else you got to pay for. On the road, you got to pay for everything. So use the promo code SeatGeek. Maybe I should start using it, Jack. $20 off any ticket price over $50 total. So again, use promo code Colin Thompson, my full name, COLIN, THOMPSON. The only way to spell Colin with 1 L. Colin Thompson. Pop that promo code in for $20 off your order at SeatGeek. Going to a game this year, football game, pop that code in. It's the only way to roll. Baseball playoffs are coming up too, so this is the best time of year. I mean, I always say that for sports, there's a lot going on, and leagues have spread it out more year-round, but, man, it's a good time of year for sure. I am jacked up. Football season's back. So, guys, my matchup this week is Zadarius Smith versus David Bakhtiari, left tackle for the Packers, edge rusher, Sam linebacker, Zadarius with Minnesota. I don't know where they're going to line him up. The Smith brothers, when they were in Green Bay, they played on different sides. I think Zadarius rushed. If you're looking at the offense, Zadarius rushed off the left side. I don't remember correctly. We played the Packers 2 years ago, so it's slipping my mind a little bit of exactly which side he played on. But the Smith brothers were a great duo in Green Bay. They have a loaded defense in Minnesota. I think they are a good team this year in the NFL. Minnesota's got some players now. I love Jordan Hicks pickup. I saw that too. You know, people in Philly were living with Jordan Hicks, right? But like Jordan Hicks is a good football player in the NFL. He's made some Pro Bowls. He's a good player. So I like their pickup. They have Kendricks. They have some studs. Obviously, Danielle Hunter. So with Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith versus David Bakhtiari on the offensive line at Green Bay, a lot of people are going to be watching that game. I think it's the 4:00 slot. So it's the national Fox game. So Zadarius Smith, David Bakhtiari, kind of really the Vikings D-line versus the Packers O-line and how that's going to go, because that's a great matchup. Always fun to watch how Aaron's going to navigate around it, because they're going to prepare for it. You know, that's the strength of their team, that front four, that front seven, their defense. So that's my matchup for this week. So guys, hey, listen, there's no better matchup than some sleep and getting a good night's sleep. Truly, everybody struggles with sleep. There's no better product out there to help you have a great night's sleep and then get up the next day and feel great. There's some products that knock you out, right? You get up the next day and you're groggy, or hey, you feel good the next day, but later on you're tired in the afternoon because you really didn't get a good quality sleep. The natural products in Som help you fall asleep gradually, help you wake up gradually if you need to, or they get you rolling in the morning. I absolutely love it, guys. Som Sleep, S-O-M. Som Sleep, S-O-M. Use promo code Colin for 10% off. Get the package. I like the sugar-free ones. I like them both, but I like the sugar-free ones. They're fantastic. It's a little sweet treat at night too if you're like trying to fight off like a craving of like a bowl of ice cream. This is a good little kick too to just crave that, get that sweet tooth right. So guys, Som Sleep, the best in the business when it comes to helping you fall asleep and then get up and rise and conquer the day the next day. Get Som Sleep. Promo code Colin, just my first name, promo code Colin for 10% off. So that was my matchup for the week. Should we go bus one? I think we should go bus one. So I already talked about the Watt brothers going to be the bus one for this week. Obviously, those three are studs. They are all seem to be awesome guys. I've yet to meet them, but I know guys that know them and just have so many great things to say about them. Obviously, JJ and his philanthropy and the millions he raised for the hurricane relief in Houston. I'm sure the other brothers are involved in that as well, and several other things. Is Derek still with Pittsburgh, Jack? Can you look that up for me real quick? I think he still is.
The last I remember, he was. He is with the Steelers currently, yes.
So is JJ, when his contract runs out in Arizona, is he going to Pittsburgh, or are they all going to meet somewhere? I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes down. So bus one for me this week, for those that are just joining us, our bus one members is when you are on a NFL team, or you're on a college football team, or you're a part of the caravan, like the starters are on bus one, right? I'm on like bus four. Temple, I was on bus 1, bus 2, right? So the bus 1 members are either like diehard fans of the podcast, people that have supported us. So shout out to our bus 1s who are always listening and retweeting and commenting. And I appreciate all these new Panthers fans we're getting on. And then, the bus 1s could also be like people that have done some pretty cool stuff. And they're respectful or doing whatever they're doing. That's how we're doing bus 1. So JJ Watt, TJ Watt, Derek Watt, they joined bus 1 this week. The other group that's joining bus 1 is the 90,000 people at the Swamp in Gainesville that rocked the house to some freaking Tom Petty in the beginning of the fourth quarter. They started that tradition when Tom Petty passed away a couple of years ago. I was there for the first game they did it. I was not in the stadium, but I was down the street at a bar of the week that I'm about to talk about here moving forward, watching the game. And it was incredible. You could hear it from a mile and a half away, singing, I won't back down. So, unbelievable stuff. Obviously, I'm a huge Tom Petty fan. I've talked about it on the show here a little bit. Maybe I haven't, but TP is a legend, a Gainesville legend, and they sing Won't Back Down. And then the freaking Gators came out with a huge win. Did you guys see that game? That was ridiculous. The final. Quarterback needs to tuck that, kick the ball, go into overtime. He throws the pick. We were going crazy watching the game with some family and friends. I mean, that's a huge Gator win. New ball coach down there. He's done some awesome things at ULL. He comes to Gainesville. The team doesn't know where they're going, right? They lost their head coach. They lost some players. They have a young team, new recruiting class. They have a new, beautiful football facility. So bus 1 this week is the Swamp, the stadium, because that place was rocking. And that is a hard place to play. If you're an away team there, you are right up against – your bench is up against the wall right where row 1 starts. And row 1 is a 5-foot wall. If you're a player and you walk right into the wall, your chest is above that wall. Like you are right there. People, you can just high five. You don't have to reach over. It's like here, high five. It's incredible. The Swamp rocks. It's loud. It's just 90,000 people of mayhem. So shout out to the Swamp, bus 1 member this week. Did you guys watch, Justin? You watched that Utah game by chance? Utah, Florida?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Jackie, what do you think, bud?
I saw a little bit of it. I mainly just saw Paige's reactions to it in the group chat as everything was going on. So that was kind of my play-by-play of what was going on.
Yeah, it was a great game. Great game. Utah, obviously, highly ranked. Florida's going to probably be ranked now after that win. Richardson, their quarterback's an absolute stud, number 15. So they're definitely a team to watch this week. So before I get to the bar of the week, boys, it is NFL's week 1. What are we looking forward to? What's the tradition this weekend food-wise? We're always going to bring it back to food on the show. When I was in high school, we would go and get the Italian hoagies. We'd get the pizzas and have it out spread for Sunday NFL football. Let's say, Jay Brad, what are you getting set up for the 1 o'clock kickoff? What do you got rocking?
So for me, I got some local pizza shops around. So I love a cheeseburger sub. Now, cheeseburger subs are one of my favorite go-to foods at an Italian place or an Italian shop, pizza shop kind of thing. So I'll probably go with those, maybe some wings, a cheeseburger sub, some wings, and chips and dip maybe. Some chips and dip. Chips and salsa.
Chips and salsa. Hold the guac. Jack in the back. What do you got?
So I really haven't done. I'm not a big eater during the games. I'm always so focused. That's just the diet. But back in high school, when we would all friends hang out and stuff, our one main spot was Lee's Hoagie House. We would either go to Lee's or get Lee's takeout, hoagies, wings, mixture of the sorts. Or there's this other place, Giuseppe's, that is phenomenal wings we would go to. And then the other spot that I've been going to recently for game days and stuff, Mr. P's. Those are kind of been the 3. It can't be just wings. It can't be just pizza. It has to be from those establishments. It's just tiers above the rest.
I love it. I hear you, Jack. I know those places are very good. They're fantastic. So, I was just curious before we got into it for the bar of the week. So, again, appreciate all our sponsors, Wealth Advisory Services, Fudge Kitchen, SeatGeek, promo code Colin Thompson, Som Sleep. Get some, promo code Colin. Oh, and shout out to our friends, too, at Actions Over Words. Freaking shout out to hooking our whole team up with apparel. Alec and their group there are amazing. So, actionsoverwordsapparel.com. Okay, so the bar of the week this week on the Colin Thompson Show is the Swamp in Gainesville, Florida. Sadly, the original Swamp got knocked down and they build condo complexes on it. The Swamp is notoriously known for just being like a house that turned into a bar, and the front yard courtyard is just outside seating. It's really cool inside. There's an upstairs area. Like it's just awesome. It's like college bar to the maximum. The best. Gator stuff everywhere. It's called the Swamp. The stadium's called the Swamp. You can't beat it. They obviously got knocked down. They rebuilt it. It's towards Sorority Row on campus. They just opened this past weekend for the kickoff of the season. So congrats to them. Awesome stuff. It was a place I frequently went to, ate, and had adult beverages at. So the Swamp is the bar of the week this week on the Colin Thompson Show. Cold beer, good drink, 4 out of 5. TVs, 4 out of 5. The ambiance, you can't beat. Walking off campus, grabbing a beer after a long week, grabbing a bite to eat. I used to crush their buffalo chicken wrap. I loved it with the rice and beans. Love that. And then, so it just had a cool vibe, ambiance of food. Great. 4 out of 5. Service, 4 out of 5. Just a great college bar, a solid college bar, and a solid score of a 16 out of 20 for the bar this week of the Colin Thompson Show, the Swamp in Gainesville, Florida. So I'm just happy for them because it's tough. The CC staples of this college towns go away to big money, right? Like I don't blame them for selling it or the landlord saying I'm out of here because they don't owe the players. They don't owe people anything in campus. They are trying to profit off their land. So they sold it and built a giant condominium complex, as much as it upsets me and everybody else there. Shout out to Cantina, RIP, which is also there. Another great place. I get it. I get why they did it. So Swamp moved down the street. It's still close to campus. And it's a freaking awesome place with some awesome people. So love the Swamp. Love the Swamp. Have any of you guys been to Gainesville?
I have not. I have.
Jack's first game guide was to Wofford. Jay Brad says there's not even college football, and Penn State's an hour and a half from him. I mean, Temple's like an hour and a half. I'm not saying you got to be a Temple fan, Jay Brad, but don't say there's nothing.
I know, but like, you know what I was trying to say.
You did a great job, Jay Brad. Jay Brad was a great addition again. Thank God you're picking up the slack for Jack. You've been slacking, Jack.
I've been slacking?
No, you haven't been slacking. You've been absolutely killing it. You're absolutely killing it. But we haven't been doing any, and this is on me. We haven't been doing any rankings. We got to bring our rankings back next week.
I know. We got to brainstorm some good ideas. I got to find some more good top fives we can do.
Yeah, we can do it. We're not forcing them. We're not forcing them on anybody.
Nah.
Well, we did the wings. We did the public transportation, which I thought was unique. I've never seen anybody do public transportation. People gave me shit for it. I'm like, hey, listen, we're trying to be different here. Guys, check out our podcast here, Not For Long Media. We have a bunch of different things going on. We have an awesome team. It's great to have Justin on here. Him and Jack in the back are freaking ripping and tearing and bringing new people on. If you're looking to join a podcast, if you're looking to create content, if you're looking to be a host, if you're looking to bring your podcast onto Not For Long Media, we have Bourbon with Friends. We have Breaking Bats. We have OGs. We have Colin Thompson Show. We have Two Girls, One League. We have Brought to Light. So we have 6 podcasts that have kind of, in the last year, we've been either heard or created, and we're just blessed to have some awesome people a part of our family. It's been really cool ride here at the media company. We're not just a podcast now. It's the Colin Thompson Show at Not For Long Media. So we have an awesome team that does things behind the scenes and just kicks freaking ass. And you guys see the product. We've had huge videos of late take off on social media. We've had a bunch of stuff do awesome numbers because of what you guys do. So thank you to our team, first and foremost. Justin and Jack, you guys are here, but we have, as you guys know, a whole team behind the curtain here that do awesome stuff. Check out our new podcast, guys, Two Girls, One League. I think you guys are really going to like it. It comes out this week. We're going through some of the, the process of getting it uploaded and all the things and applying to Apple and Spotify and all those things. So that will come out soon. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy that. It's really fun. Shout out to our sponsors, Wealth Advisory Services, Fudge Kitchen, SeatGeek, promo code Colin Thompson, Som Sleep, promo code Colin, Actions Over Words Apparel. Check them out.com. Bar of the Week, The Swamp, Bus One, The Swamp, The Stadium. Singing Tom Petty and rocking it out there and for causing a turnover there in the fourth quarter. The Watt brothers are Bus One, and then Brian O'Neill, guys. Brian O'Neill has become a friend. He's a Pro Bowler. He could be an all-pro type guy. That's how good Brian is. And a very exciting team to watch this year in Minnesota, I think. So, again, Brian was awesome. I hope you guys enjoy it. That's Justin. That's Jack. I'm Colin Thompson. Have fun, everyone, week 1. Hope all your team wins. Obviously, that will not be the case. Go Panthers. Keep pounding. And hope you guys enjoy the Brian O'Neill interview.